I'm looking for someone to share in an adventure.
What? No, no. We do not want any adventures here. Good morning.
Fair enough.
I'm Lee West, and we're here today at Lego World in Copenhagen, and that's basically a huge place where all Lego fans are meeting, gathering up, buying Lego, collecting Lego, putting stuff together. And I'm here with James Norton from TT Games. And tell me a bit about yourself and why we're here.
Hello, I'm James Norton, senior producer at TT Games, working on Lego Hobbit, The Hobbit.
So that's the next big Lego game coming out from your company, basically.
Yep, it's due for release in spring this year on all platforms, major platforms, Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Wii U, PC.
So I've noticed one thing. I've played tons of these Lego games, and it seems to me a lot of people are always saying, "Oh, it's the same, every game." But it seems like some other franchises know how to add new stuff, and I've noticed that you're trying to do that as well in TT Games with the Lego games. Can you elaborate a bit on what you're doing with Lego The Hobbit this time to keep it fresh?
Sure. So it's a good question. Something that we always attempt to do is on the start of any new project is to look for what is the core of the experience that we're looking for. And with Lego The Hobbit, that's all about the dwarves. Dwarves, and more dwarves. So we've added some new features to the game, one of which would be the buddy up system. So there's lots of cool things that you can do with that in terms of the way that you engage enemies by teaming up with bands of dwarves, using dwarves in numerous scenarios to solve puzzles and interact with the environment to sort of progress and teamwork with the dwarves.
I'm guessing that's with the usual co-op possibility again in this game.
Yeah, well, the co-op, there's certainly co-op support, local co-op support. So you can play with your friends and your family in the living room together, which is where there's always the best experience.
Yeah, I know some of our readers were actually asking if you plan on doing any online multiplayer, online co-op later on in some of the games, but I guess you just answered why you don't, really want to do that, why it's local co-op.
Sure, yeah. We believe that the best experience is had sitting with your friends in the same room together. So, that's where we focus all our efforts.
Now this game, Lego The Hobbit, is basically the first and the second movie, isn't that right? Yeah.
That's correct.
Any reason why you decided to go for this approach instead of having separate games, and at the same time are you planning a sequel?
And again, great questions. There's such a wealth of material with Peter Jackson's films. We figured, why wait? There's so much material for us to work with to create a really great experience. The game itself is huge. In terms of following up, I'd say watch this space. We don't have any news that we can share, at the moment.
You're saying it's a huge game. Do you have any idea? Well, you obviously do, but are you able to talk about it? How long is this game going to be, maybe compared to some of the other Lego games?
Whilst I can't give you a specific number of hours, I can say it's, you're not going to fall short of what the fans have come to expect from Lego games. It's a huge game. We've got 16 levels, free play. In the hub environment itself, there's over 150 quests, lots of different sort of variety in the types of quests and challenges that you can take part in. Fans can be assured that there's a huge amount of content there. Certainly won't be disappointed.
I noticed one thing you have implemented this time. Maybe you can tell us a bit more about it. That is the whole build your own model, mini model concept. I noticed that you added it, I think, in the Lego movie, the game, and it seems to be back in Lego The Hobbit again.
Yeah, we have mini builds in the game. All of the mini builds that are present in the game or in the hub, within the levels or within the hub that you construct, all built from Lego. So, yeah.
Can you talk a bit more about how it works, the whole mini build system? I think it's an awesome concept, but then again, I'm a big child when it comes to Lego, and I really like this focus on the bricks instead of, you know, just nice rendered environments.
Okay, so something that's exclusive to this game that we've not done before is all of the mini builds, the kits that you place together. They're built by collecting loot, which you find from defeating enemies in the game. You use those to construct the builds within the level or the hub. If you build any of those objects within the hub itself, they're actually now persistent, so they will remain permanently within the hub.
Cool. So it's not just about studs anymore. I'm guessing. You're saying loot. How is the loot here?
Studs are always going to be, you know, a huge part of the game, you know. But yeah, we've expanded on that to encompass other items to collect. So it really brings that whole sort of engagement to the player to sort of explore areas and try and find perhaps a piece of loot that's required to build a particular item in the hub. So
I think we should end this with letting you have a sales pitch. Why should people buy Lego The Hobbit?
Well, it's one of the most epic adventures to date, and it's going to be available in spring 2014. Tons of new content, over 80 characters to play, beautiful environments from the film that fans will be aware of, and the classic Lego charm, you know, with all its expected humour and giggles in there. So,
thank you.
Well, that could have been worse.